Good morning, everyone. How are you all? I hope you all are doing great. So, today we are going to solve question number 4 of top 150 interview questions. Let's read the question first. The name of the question is Remove duplicates from the sorted array 2. It is the next version of the previous problem which we have solved, sorted array 1. Okay. It states that given an integer array nums which is sorted in non-decreasing order, remove some duplicates in place such that each unique elements appear at most twice. The relative order of the elements should be kept the same. Since it is impossible to change the length of the array in some languages, you must instead have the result be placed in the first part of the array nums. More formally, if there are key elements after removing the duplicates, then the first key elements of the num should hold the final result. It doesn't matter what you leave beyond the first key elements. Okay, this is an additional information. We have to return k after placing the final result in the first k slots of num. Do not allocate space for another array. You must do this by modifying the input array in place with O1 extra memory. It means we cannot have additional space. Let's understand what the question is saying. Suppose this is the array given to us. Okay, this is nums which is given, and they are saying कि जो भी ये जो डुप्लीकेटेड एलिमेंट्स हैं जो डुप्लीकेट एलिमेंट्स है लाइक दिस वन इट इज डुप्लीकेटेड राइट बिकॉज ये एक से ज्यादा बार आ रहा है दिस इज ऑल्सो डुप्लीकेटेड टू इज ऑल्सो डुप्लीकेट एलिमेंट देयर थ्री इज अ यूनिक एलिमेंट सो व्हाट द क्वेश्चन इज सेइंग क्वेश्चन ये कह रहा है कि जो भी डुप्लीकेटेड एलिमेंट्स हैं लाइक दिस वन these must appear at most two times. Okay, the frequency of these duplicate elements should be 2. Whatever they have given in the input array, it may be 4, 5, whatever it is, output array में वो सिर्फ 2 बार आना चाहिए at most. Like this one. ये जो one है ये input array में 3 times आ रहा है and ये duplicate element है as we can see. ये जो duplicate element है ये output array में सिर्फ 2 बार आना चाहिए. Okay. Now this 2. This is also duplicate element because ये एक से ज्यादा बार आ रहा है तो आउटपुट एरे में इसकी फ्रीक्वेंसी ज्यादा से ज्यादा सिर्फ 2 हो सकती है दिस इज अ यूनिक एलिमेंट ये एज इट इज ही आउटपुट एरे में आ जाएगा एंड वी हैव टू रिटर्न द k means length of this output array which is 5 1 2 3 4 and 5 so this we have to return now let's see that how to approach this question what's the solution of this question see here this is num right now let me tell you one thing that whatever the first two elements of array are these are always valid these two elements are always valid why these are valid let me tell you see here these are the first two elements of the array right and the question is saying कि अगर वो डुप्लीकेट एलिमेंट है तो वो 2 टाइम्स आएगा मैक्स टू मैक्स वो 2 टाइम्स आ सकता है ओके लेट्स सपोज कि ये जो 1 है ये डुप्लीकेट एलिमेंट है तो इसकी जो फ्रीक्वेंसी है वो 2 आएगी राइट अब देखो जो फर्स्ट 2 एलिमेंट्स होंगे एरे के चाहे वो डुप्लीकेटेड एलिमेंट्स हो चाहे वो यूनिक एलिमेंट्स हो दोनों वो जो 2 एलिमेंट्स होंगे वो हमेशा वैलिड ही होंगे ओके सो दिस वाज द मेन ट्रिक टू सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन यू कैन से अब ये जो 2 एलिमेंट्स हैं 1 and 1 these are always valid whether they are duplicate or whether they are unique अगर तो ये डुप्लीकेट होंगे तो इनकी जो फ्रीक्वेंसी है वो 2 आनी चाहिए इन द होल अरे सो ये 2 ही है इट मींस इट इज वैलिड अगर ये यूनिक एलिमेंट्स है मान लो कि इधर 1 होता और इस जगह पे 2 होता देन ऑल्सो इट इज वैलिड ठीक है तो इससे हमें एक चीज क्लियर होगी कि जो फर्स्ट 2 एलिमेंट्स होंगे एरे के दैट विल बी ऑलवेज वैलिड अब आगे अगर ये दोनों एलिमेंट्स अगर वैलिड हैं तो हम अपनी ट्रावर्सल इस इंडेक्स से शुरू करेंगे राइट क्योंकि हमें पता है कि अब पिछले 2 एलिमेंट्स को देखने का कोई फायदा नहीं है क्योंकि वो हमेशा ही वैलिड होंगे तो हम इस वाली इंडेक्स से अपनी ट्रावर्सिंग शुरू करेंगे नाउ लेट्स सी लेट्स सपोज कि ये जो है ये हमारा जे पॉइंटर है कि हम इधर से अपनी ट्राइवर्सल शुरू कर रहे हैं Let's have one more pointer, say I. We will place I at here. The I works same as in the previous question. What the I states? Here, the I states valid index. I उस इंडेक्स को डिनोट करेगा जहां पर हम अपना नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट को प्लेस कर सकेंगे जो हमारा वैलिड जो हमारा एलिमेंट होगा हम उस इंडेक्स पे उसको प्लेस करेंगे इन द नेक्स्ट टर्न जैसे आई हमारा इधर है इट इज ऑन 0 इट्स 1 2 3 4 and 5 right this is indexing of the array I points to 2 which means जो हमारा next valid element होगा whatever it is that will be placed at this I okay now we have started traversal from this J now let's see what will happen we have to check only one thing. We will check if nums at j is not equal to nums at I minus 2. Then we will be safe and we will place at valid index. Okay, this is the simple solution. Now let's see why this condition. Right? See here. This is the element at j position. Right? There is 1. We will check if this 1 is equal to its second last element. That's why I have written it I minus 2. Because I is at 2, 2 minus 2 will be 0, this element. And typically it is the second last element of this j. If it is equal to this 1, it means it is again duplicated. And we know only 2 duplicates are allowed. Okay. Now if it is again duplicated, then we are not safe and we will not place this one at this ith index because these duplicated elements are now three. This is first, this is second, and this is third, which is not allowed. We are only allowed with two duplicates. In the other case, if it is not equal to 1, suppose here is something else like 3, 4, 5, whatever it is, then we are safe because then it is valid. Then we can place this, whatever the number was at this place, at the ith index. But now in our case, it's 1 and is same as it is last second element. So we will not place it at the ith index. We will simply increment j by 1. Now it came at 3. Now see, it is 2 and now the second last element become this. Now 2 is not equal to 1, right? अब क्या होगा ये जो 2 है ये 1 की इक्वल नहीं आ रहा तो इसका मतलब ये सेफ है वी कैन प्लेस दिस 2 एट द वैलिड इंडेक्स व्हाट वाज द वैलिड इंडेक्स I वाज द वैलिड इंडेक्स राइट तो अब हम इस 2 को इधर प्लेस कर सकते हैं एट दिस 2 सो अब इसकी जगह पर आ जाएगा हमारे पास 2 ओके वी हैव प्लेस एट द वैलिड इंडेक्स वी हैव प्लेस्ड एट द वैलिड इंडेक्स हाउ सिंपली नम्स एट आई पे हमने नम्स ऑफ जे को प्लेस कर दिया आफ्टर प्लेसिंग जस्ट इंक्रीमेंट दिस ओके नाउ हमारा आई बन गया 3 अब जो भी नेक्स्ट वैलिड एलिमेंट आएगा वो इस इंडेक्स पर हम प्लेस कर देंगे नाउ अगेन जे इंक्रीमेंट्स बाय 1 okay now our j will come at fourth pointer now we will again check if this 2 if it is not equal to the element which is placed at num I minus 2 what is this now our I is now 3 3 minus 2 is equal to 1 we will check whatever is it a 1 like here it is 1 now 2 is not equal to 1 which means we are safe and now we will just play it at the valid index what is valid index it is 3 so at this 3 we will place our 2 okay and then just increment this I now it will become 4 now our j will come at the last index okay okay now the j has came to the last index oh sorry this at 5 now what we will check now this will become 4 minus 2 2 now we will check that whether this 3 and this 2 are equal which are not it means we are safe and we will place this 3 at the valid index and the valid index is 4
So at 4, now we will place 3. Okay. Now what is our output? It is 1, 1, 2, 2, and 3. And this is what we need, right? This was the output, right? And this is what we need. So this is the final output and it is correct. And then we will just return k. What is k? Number of elements in this array. How will return? Simply return the index I. Why? Because I represents the valid index and which is alternatively the number of elements in the array. Now we will not do this I plus 1. Why? Because जब हम ये वाली चीज चल रहे थे, जब हमने एक वैलिड इंडेक्स को प्लेस किया था इस थर्ड को, then this statements are automatically incremented I by 1 and it become 5. वो बात अलग है कि ये जो हम J वाली लूप चला रहे थे, ये जो हम ट्राइवर्सल कर रहे थे, वो हमारी आउट ऑफ बाउंड चली जाएगी तो वो जो है वो हमारी लूप खत्म हो जाएगी। लेकिन इस I प्लस प्लस ने हमारे आउटमेंट की वजह से एक इंक्रीमेंट हो गया होगा, सो इट बिकम्स 5. So at last we will just return this I. Okay. Now let's see the pseudocode. That how to write the code. The code is very simple. Whatever we were doing, we will just write it. Okay. We were having one pointer which is I, which was initially placed at 2, right? And then we were running one loop for traversal. For J, it was at initially at 2 and it will run till length, and we were just incremented it one by one. What we were checking? We were checking that if nums at j, if it is not equal to nums at I minus 2, the second last element, then we were safe, and then we were just placing nums at I, what nums at j, and we were incrementing this I. At last, we were just returning this I, the number of elements. Okay, so this, okay, now let's see the time complexity. We are just traversing the array, we are just traversing each and every element of the array, right? So it is nothing, it is just big O of n, where n is what? Number of elements. We are doing this nothing, right? We were just traversing each and every index. And what is space complexity? It is O of 1. It is constant. Because we haven't used any extra space, we were just modifying the array in place, so it is O of 1. Okay, so I hope you have got the solution, and if you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more upcoming videos. Thank you.